This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time now is 4:27 on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining me. I'm Meredith Barrick. Lauren Casey has the day off. We want to let you in on a traffic alert this morning. Today is the first day of the morning commute since the new I-465 closure went into effect. This is going to impact drivers on the southeast side. The southbound and westbound lanes between I-65 on the south side and I-70 on the east side shut down on Friday night, and they will impact your morning commute. INDOT has supplied a number of alternate routes. We have those on the IndyChannel.com and the RTV6 app. And our Alyssa Donovan will have a bit more for you this morning on when we can expect all this construction to wrap up. It seems like it is never ending. But Todd, the good news is that all the workers out there will have great weather here for the next day or so to get that work done quickly.
Yeah, you know, it'll be dry. They might be complaining tomorrow afternoon about the heat.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big weather story going forward in our forecast over the course of the next few days is the heat that is going to build back in. The summer not letting go as of yet. So this morning, though, it's actually pretty comfortable. We're in the 50s and 60s. So your Monday gets off to a great start. No weather-related issues here this morning for your morning commute. 58 in Zionsville, 55 right now in Logansport, 60 in Bloomington. We're on our way up to a high of 83 degrees later on this afternoon with partly cloudy skies. And there's just a very, very small chance that there could be a quick passing stray shower in northern locations later on this afternoon. Nothing to write home about, nothing to cancel any of those plans over. So today 83, tomorrow's high 90 degrees.
Wow.
So we'll talk more about that heat and the rest of your week of that forecast coming up.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Hey, if you stayed up, well, the Colts game wasn't on that late last night, but for me it was. If you were up last night watching the Colts game, what a heartbreaker. For the 6th year in a row, the Colts have lost their season opener. The game against the Chargers went into overtime, giving fans hope that the Colts would pull off a win. This was also the first time fans got to see what new starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett could do for the team this season. The next game is on Sunday on the road against the Tennessee Titans. And finally, this morning in Hiring Hoosiers, we are looking at the problem that a lot of companies are facing now, retaining workers because of the opioid crisis. So we are looking at a new initiative that a lot of employers are putting into place. Instead of firing workers, they are helping them get the resources and rehab they need if they are impacted by opioid abuse and addiction. Our Amanda Starantino is looking into this very important topic. We'll have that coming up later this morning, plus plenty of news, weather, and traffic to kick off your work week.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
My concern is that someone's going to end up getting hurt. There's going to be an accident here when the road gets finished, and it's going to be in much better condition than it is now.
A Northside man says he's worried about his neighbors that are going to get hurt while leaving his subdivision. Working for you, we're taking his concerns straight to city officials. Plus, health officials report another death tied to vaping, and it's close to home. This morning, the warning from state health officials. It's 4:30 on your Monday morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Meredith Barrick. Lauren Casey has the day off, so I'm joined by meteorologist Todd Clausen, and it is going to be a nice day out there.
Yeah, you know, really, the whole entire week is going to be pretty nice. We have a couple minor rain chances ahead, but as you walk out the door this morning, yeah, you're getting out the door to temperatures that are in the 50s and 60s once again. Every morning this weekend, it was nice and comfortable overnight, and then we would warm it up throughout the afternoon hours. You'll need the sunglasses here throughout the day today, and we'll highlight the light jacket for you once again, as you may need to have that in some outlying areas as we dip down into the 50s now to the north and to the west. 57 in Tipton, 59 in Crawfordsville. Running a little bit warmer here in Indy at 65 degrees, and Bloomington currently sitting at 60 degrees. So it's not completely clear here this morning. Skies are partly cloudy across the area, but we're dry. That is the good news. And then off to the west, you do notice a few spotty showers here up towards Chicago. Those will stream across northern Indiana. So there's a very small shower chance later on this afternoon, I would say, for the northern third of the state. Otherwise, just look for partly cloudy skies, a pretty quiet weather day, going up to 74 degrees by the noon hour. Then our high temperature temperatures actually get above normal this afternoon as we get up to 83 degrees. The time now is 4:31. It's time for a first look at traffic on this Monday morning. Meredith.
Todd, thank you. Here is a live look from I-465 at Emerson Avenue on the southeast side. You will want to remember the south and eastbound lanes of I-465 are closed between I-70 on the east side and I-65 on the south side. We've watched crews work in this area overnight. The eastbound lanes are moving just fine at this hour. We do have a list of detours for you right now on the RTV6 app, and our Alyssa Donovan will be taking a closer look at this project coming up later this morning. Now let's head up to I-69 near the Pendleton area. More construction cones here. This is part of a long-term project expected to last until the summer of 2020. So far, no crashes to report around the area. Keep our neighborhoods safe. That's the call from the north side this morning. RTV6's Graham Hunter reports one man is taking a stand for his neighborhoods to try to prevent tragedy.
We've lived in this community for 11 years.
Brian Phillips only wants what's best for the safety of his neighbors.
My concern is that someone's going to end up getting hurt.
Phillips lives just off Ditch Road, south of 96th Street. There's a roundabout at that intersection.
When they come off that roundabout, they go really quick. When they come off of the bridge, they go really fast, and it's difficult for us to get in and out of the neighborhood safely.
The bridge on Ditch Road over 465 is under construction, but before that started,
under normal conditions during rush hour, the traffic is stopped, backed up, going over the hill, going north, and it's just nonstop coming off the roundabout there.
Phillips is already anticipating that will pick up again once the project is completed later this year.
My concern is when we finish this bridge enlargement and expansion program, that the people coming around the roundabout will be going faster than they ever have before.
And he worries the worst could happen.
Someone's going to get hurt. There's going to be an accident, whether it's a kid on a bicycle, whether it's an adult with her children trying to get to daycare.
So I asked Mr. Phillips what he would like to see happen on Ditch Road.
So I'm thinking like maybe a speed table. The cars have to drive up on it and drive down. Something to force people to slow down.
I reached out to the Indianapolis Department of Public Works to see if they had any advice for how Phillips and his neighbors could get traffic calming measures installed. A spokeswoman advised us to reach out to IMPD instead.
I just hope something gets done.
I shared Phillips' concerns with IMPD, and a spokesman said the area would be added for extra patrols by the department's traffic branch.
We just want people to know that I'm concerned. We're concerned about it.
Working for you from the north side, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Graham, thank you. Just 1 week after Indigo's Red Line service started picking up passengers, a station is out of service thanks to damage caused by a drunk driver. Police say the driver crashed his car into the station at South Shelby Street and East Hannah Avenue early Saturday morning. The driver of the car was seriously injured, but is expected to survive. Police say they will face charges of operating a vehicle while intoxicated once they're released from the hospital. Indigo says the accident caused damage to technology and signage, but not to the structure itself. Red Line buses will pick up riders in an area next to the station while repairs are made. Changes to the state's school safety grant program have some school districts seeing big changes in funding. $19 million in funding will be split between 429 school districts, along with some private schools and charter schools. The funding marks a $5 million increase compared to last year. Some districts, like Jay Community Schools and Jay County, reported seeing their safety funding cut in half. Other districts report their safety funding nearly doubled. The Indiana Department of Homeland Security says schools were also asked to prioritize their requests. E-cigarette warnings are becoming more urgent this morning after a death in Indiana linked to vaping. The health department says the person died from a severe lung injury. He or she was older than 18 years old, but that is the only detail being released right now. The death is the first of its kind in the state and the third in the country. Health officials recommend people stop vaping while they investigate.
We have not been able to determine exactly what the source of this lung injury is.
And we do know that of all the cases that we've investigated, all of them have reported a history of vaping.
Dozens of lung illnesses in Indiana and more than 400 around the country are also under investigation for a possible connection to vaping. A Hendricks County man charged with killing a 4-year-old boy is set to stand trial starting today. Michael Atkinson of Danville is charged with murder, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, and aggravated battery. The victim was the 4-year-old son of Atkinson's girlfriend, who was not charged in the case. Danville police were called to a home in November of 2017 to assist the Danville Fire Department with an unconscious child. The child was rushed to Riley Hospital for Children but died 2 days later. The coroner said the boy's injuries were caused by blunt force trauma. The bus driver responsible for a crash outside Bloomington, leaving 3 people dead and 3 others injured, faces a lengthy prison sentence. According to court records, a Monroe County judge sentenced 48-year-old Brian Hodges of New Albany to 14 years as part of a plea deal. 3 people from Greenwood died in the crash. Hodges was driving a Miller Transportation passenger bus in July of 2017 when he crashed into a minivan on Old State Road 37 north of Bloomington. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, tests showed Hodges had amphetamines and methamphetamine in his system at the time of the crash. A pair of local energy companies want your opinion on possible rate hikes to your electric bill. Duke is proposing a 15.5% increase over 2 years. A public hearing on the plan will be held tonight in the Carmel High School auditorium. The meeting is scheduled to start at 6 p.m. IPL is asking for a series of rate increases spread out over 7 years. Bills will go up between 0.8 and 1.3% between next year and 2026. Company officials will hold a public meeting tomorrow night. The meeting will be held at the Schweitzer Student Center on the University of Indianapolis campus. It's also scheduled to start at 6 o'clock.
I just want to confirm that this is the vessel Golden Ray, the cargo ship that capsized. There's no way to get on board the vessel.
This morning, a desperate search for the remaining crew members aboard a capsized ship off the coast of Georgia. After the break, what authorities say may have caused the massive ship to roll over. Plus, if you're a dog owner, you'll want to listen up. Why the CDC says it is still not safe for you to handle pig-eared dog treats. Todd.
And Meredith, getting off to a cool start here on this Monday morning, but temperatures warm quite nicely throughout the morning hours. And by this afternoon, we're talking about temperatures into the low 80s. Tomorrow, we're talking about temperatures around 90 degrees. More on that coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:38. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here is a live look at I-70 at Sherman Drive. This area is part of the detour for the 15-day closure of I-465 on the southeast side. This is one of the areas we will keep an eye on as traffic builds throughout the morning. Congress returns to Washington from its August recess today and will face a broad array of issues. Lawmakers are fighting over a legislative response to last month's deadly shootings in Texas and Ohio. Also on the table, the president's decision to finance his border wall with funds redirected from military construction projects. But at the top of the to-do list, a September 30th deadline to fund the government for the 2020 fiscal year, which begins October 1st. President Trump will hold a campaign rally tonight in Fayetteville, North Carolina. His visit comes just 1 day before a special election in the state's 9th district following an investigation into widespread fraud during the 2018 midterm race. The Trump campaign sent out a fundraising email to supporters promising to double match all contributions made to Dan Bishop, a Republican candidate in the special election. A frantic search underway for 4 missing crew members of a cargo ship that overturned and caught fire off the coast of Georgia. ABC's Inez de la Cotera reports 20 people were safely rescued, but a fire and the ship's instability made it impossible for rescue workers to go any further.
4 crew members still missing at sea in the St. Simons Sound after their massive cargo ship nearly capsized.
I just want to confirm that this is the vessel Golden Ray, the cargo ship that capsized. There's no way to get on board the vessel.
Officials say just after it departed port around 2 a.m. on Sunday, the Golden Ray made a turn and toppled over, then burst into flames.
As smoke and flames began to appear, our crews, along with the Glenn County Heavy Rescue Team, assessed that the situation was too risky to further go inside the vessel.
The Coast Guard deploying helicopters and boats to try and rescue the 24 people on board. Dramatic video shows them lifting a crew member to safety in the dead of night.
All vessels are requested to keep a sharp lookout as soon as possible.
20 people were safely evacuated before rescuers decided the fire made it too risky to keep going. Authorities are now intensely working on stabilizing the leaning vessel so they can continue rescue operations.
We brought in a team of experts to start looking at how we can affect the rescue, but also do it safely while keeping a mindful eye to the safety of the rescuers and responders to make sure that we don't make the problem worse.
Officials say the 4 missing crew members were on watch in the engine room when the incident happened.
We're doing everything we can to try and get those last 4 members off.
Coast Guard officials are telling CNN they're also looking into whether it might be safer to right the vessel to rescue those missing crew members. They still don't know what caused the fire. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Hundreds of friends and loved ones gathered to say goodbye to 5 family members shot and killed in northern Alabama. A teen is charged after reportedly confessing to killing his father, an avid motorcycle rider, and his stepmother, a school teacher, a week ago. The 14-year-old also confessed to killing his 6-year-old stepbrother, 5-year-old stepsister, and 6-month-old stepbrother. The teen is being held in a juvenile detention facility. Investigators have not yet identified a motive. The death toll from Hurricane Dorian is slowly rising in the Bahamas. Officials say 45 people are now dead, but with hundreds still missing, they expect that number to climb higher. Volunteers with search dogs continue to scour neighborhoods flattened by Hurricane Dorian. This morning, global relief agencies are rushing to get food and shelter to some 70,000 people left homeless on 2 northern islands. Authorities in the Bahamas say plans are underway to provide shelter for those impacted by the storm.
We want to create a temporary relief facility in Abaco and in 2 locations, and the thought of creating a temporary relief facility is that the facility is built to accommodate between 4,000 persons.
The Grand Celebration cruise ship delivered thousands of pounds of supplies to the island nation. It returned to Florida on Saturday with more than 1,500 evacuees. U.S. Customs officials say all of the passengers were either U.S. residents or had the proper documentation to enter the country. Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival all sent aid to the Bahamas as well. A wild show lighting up the sky for residents in Washington state this weekend. The National Weather Service says more than 1,000 lightning strikes were recorded in western Washington Saturday night alone. Of course, the spectacle also left many residents in the dark. Seattle reported a large number of outages. The wild storm system also affected sports fans, triggering a delay in the University of Washington football game against UC Berkeley at the Husky Stadium. At 4:46 here at home, it's going to be an awfully nice day out there, Todd.
Yeah, not bad at all. And temperatures will continue to moderate. Over the weekend, temperatures were in the 70s, pretty comfortable. Saturday was a little better than Sunday because we had more in the way of sunshine. Well, today we're up to 83 degrees, and I'll probably show you this graphic a couple times this week because our average high is going to continue to drop, but our forecast high is going to continue to go up as we really start to build in some heat across the area. And we're talking about potentially 90-degree temperatures by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. Outside right now, though, it's very, very comfortable. Another great sleeping night across the area with temperatures that have dipped down into the 50s and 60s, sitting at 65 degrees officially right now here in Indianapolis. The wind is out of the east, currently at 7 miles per hour. And here are some of those 50s to the north in Tipton, as well as Peru, Crawfordsville at 60 degrees, Bloomington at 60 degrees as well. So we are dealing with temperatures that are on par as far as overnight lows go for this time of year. So skies are partly cloudy right now. You notice there's a few showers in and around the area to the north, and I'll expand out for you, and you can see these showers basically streaming from west to east across the area. And it's this batch of shower activity we'll have to keep an eye on as we get into the afternoon hours, as some of these showers could clip northern portions of central Indiana. So I would say if you live from Crawfordsville to Muncie and points to the north, there will be the chance as we go throughout the day of just a quick passing shower for you. If you see it, it's going to be very, very light. It is not really going to cause any issues. Just know that it will be possible. But I would think from Indianapolis southward during the day today, you're going to be completely dry, and that is the good news with just a nice mixture of sun and clouds. And again, those temperatures that'll be climbing up into the low 80s. So here's how it breaks down throughout the morning hours. Partly cloudy skies. We should be into the low 70s here by 11 a.m. And then we're close to 80 degrees by the time we get to 2 p.m. with a mixture of sun and clouds. And then high temperatures rather will be up into the 80s here this afternoon. So very, very comfortable as we work our way into the afternoon hours, as the temperatures go up, the humidity doesn't really come up. So that is good news. And then this evening, if you have plans, sunset is at 8:04. As soon as the sun sets, temperatures will be in the 70s. Now, tomorrow morning, we start off in the mid to upper 60s. So it's not as cool 24 hours from now. And then as we work our way throughout the day tomorrow, here are your temperatures tomorrow by the noon hour on Tuesday, already climbing up into the 80s in many locations. And then high temperatures tomorrow, they're going to be topping off probably anywhere from about 87 to 91 degrees, depending where you live. So if you're a fan of the summertime warmth, well, this forecast is for you. We're right around 90 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday as well. Wednesday, there could be a few isolated storms. The best chance of storms, though, this week will be on Friday when the cold front comes through, ushering in what should be nice weather for the upcoming weekend. Meredith?
Todd, thank you. Here's a live look from I-465 at Emerson Avenue on the southeast side. You'll want to remember the south and westbound lanes of I-465 are closed between I-70 on the east side and I-65 on the south side. We have watched crews work in this area overnight. Westbound lanes are moving just fine at this hour. We have a list of detours for you right now on the RTV6 app. Let's head up to I-69 near the Pendleton area. More construction cones here. This is part of a long-term project expected to last until the summer of 2020. So far, no crashes to report around this area. Officials are now warning people to avoid all pig-eared dog treats due to a risk of multi-drug resistant salmonella infection. The CDC says people can get sick from handling the treats. Dogs can also get sick from eating them. In a month, 16 new cases were reported, bringing the total to 143 illnesses in 35 states. No deaths have occurred. Signs of salmonella infection include diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps. In dogs, they could also have diarrhea and vomiting and appear more tired than usual. Florida-Georgia line playing for a big crowd this weekend out at IMS, but it was Metro Police walking away with a potentially life-saving donation thanks to that band. After the break, how the band's gift will also help serve you in the future. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up today on Court TV, our continuing coverage of a very dramatic case out of Ohio. It's Ohio versus Skylar Richardson. She's a former high school cheerleader who hid her pregnancy from everyone, including her parents. And then after giving birth, prosecutors say she killed her newborn. Well, her mother is on the witness list for prosecutors. We're keeping an eye on the courtroom. We're live in Ohio today on Court TV.
And you can watch Court TV live on your mobile device on CourtTV.com. That's where you can also download Court TV's new True Crime Weekly podcast. Good morning, Indiana. We'll be right back.
Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
The Brickyard 400 weekend has come to an end, but on Saturday, several artists performed at IMS for FGL Fest. While in town, Florida-Georgia Line gave IMPD a big donation. IMPD tweeted this photo thanking the band for their newest canine partner. IMPD says they believe the new canine will be a bomb detection dog. Brian Kelly, one part of the duo, met the dog last year when he was just 10 months old and named him Sarge. He and his wife wanted to adopt Sarge, but they soon realized he had special talents and would be a strong police dog. Kelly and his wife say they're so excited Sarge will live a life of keeping people and officers safe. Being able to give back is something in our hearts, and Indy was a moment we will not forget. What a great connection to our city.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely, and I saw lots and lots of pictures and videos coming from that show. So
and they had great weather.
They did, because last year it got canceled because of storms. So they made up for it this year with a beautiful afternoon and evening there at the track. And yesterday they got at the racing, so everything was good at IMS and across central Indiana over there Saturday and Sunday. Today 83, partly cloudy skies, not a bad day. Tomorrow is hot and sunny. We're up to 90 degrees. Then a few spotty storms will be possible on Wednesday, but otherwise a pretty quiet day. But the heat continues at least through Thursday, and then the cold front will arrive on Friday with a round of showers and thunderstorms. But once that front goes through, it should set us up for, at this point, what will be a very nice weekend with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the 80s. The time now, 4:57. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.